Today we're going to take a look at a knife sharpening system from Wicked Edge. This one's called the Field & Sport Pro. Now, just a little history. I was surfing the internet a while back and I came across Wicked Edge and I saw a couple of their videos about sharpening knives, and they're just coming out wicked sharp. And being terrible at sharpening knives, this kind of piqued my interest. It looked fairly simple. Looked like it was extremely effective. It makes complete sense how the system works. And I've used some sharpening systems in the past, and I still don't have much luck even with, let's say, even the Tormac, the T4 system I have. I'm not good at sharpening knives. It's great for doing lathe tools, but sharpening knives, just not good at it. So I reached out to Wicked Edge and said, hey, is your system really this good? I'd like to take a look at it. So this is what they sent me. If you go to their website, you'll see that they have, I believe, 12 different models, and actually about 5 models with variations that equal up to like 12 different packs that you can get. So first of all, let's take a look inside here and let's see what they have, what will come with this set. The Field & Sport Pro is basically a one that has a case so you can take it places. So the Field & Sport, you're going to be out in the field with it. So inside the case comes their manual, which will help you and guide you through how to set up, find your angles, how to get a good edge. Very useful information on here. Alright, inside this unit comes the clamping mechanism. One solid piece of aluminum here. It's nice. There's a handle. Everything's placed really nicely in here and cut out foam so it's easy to get out. One of the things that differentiates these kits is how many different grits they have for sharpening stones. The Field & Sport Pro comes with basically 3 stones a side, or 3 apparatuses with grits of 100, 200, 400, 600, 800, and 1000 grit. If you want, they have a few more grits. I believe they have a 1200 grit and maybe a 1500 grit, which will get you those mirrored finishes. And that's what you see in their videos. You'll see it just a mirrored finish. So the finer you get, the less scratches you have, the sharper your edge is going to be. Comes with a marker, and I'll show you what that's for in a little bit, along with an A through F ruler, and also a little Allen wrench and a key looking thing, and we're going to show you what that's for in a little bit too. Now, first thing I want to comment on is the C-clamp. Nice C-clamp, takes a little while to open and close, and this is what you'll use to clamp down your unit and keep it nice and solid. First thing I thought of is, why didn't they go to like a pistol grip clamp? So I went out and I bought one right here. I figured, hey, it's tiny, it'll work. This does not hold the vise very securely to your work surface. Bad choice. Then I went ahead and I have 2 bigger ones. So I'll put it on one on each side. It works. C-clamp is still better. Now, with my desk set up here, my workbench, I don't have an overhanging lip where I can use a C-clamp. So for demonstration purposes here, I'm going to be switching to the pistol grips. This will hold it very securely. I've used it already, and this is actually a smarter way of going. What I should do is get a larger C-clamp. All right, now let's go into how to set this up and find your angle, because finding the angle for your knives is usually the hardest part for me. And in this system, once you find it, the rest of it's a piece of cake. Let me step back here for a second. You see me here, I got some kitchen knives and stuff, and this is what I started practicing on. And when you get into the manual, you'll read that these stones have a break-in period. They're diamond stones, and when you're using them, you're going to have a whole bunch of diamond dust and steel wearing off of them. They have a break-in period, so they actually suggest starting off on junk knives or knives that quite aren't, you're not your best high-end knives. So I've been working with my wife's kitchen knives, and it's very nice, especially with these big ones. Now, you are going to be limited in the size of knife that you're going to be able to use. For instance, I had a small Kershaw pocket knife that just, it clamps in there, but you're not going to be able to get the stone to it. So some of these smaller knives aren't going to work, but your other pocket knives, this will work, and they work very well. Stay away from the small ones or the multiple blades that are thin. Not best for this application. All right, let's move to how to set this unit up and show you how it works. All right, the do with this unit is we want to secure this to your work surface. Again, I'm using these pistol grip clamps, not necessarily the best. We want to make sure this unit stays in place. All right, actually that's pretty good right there. So then we have to take your handle out and attach it. They made this super simple. Now this unit was out before a few years ago, and they changed it in 2017. They made some improvements. They made some improvements to the vise section here. Apparently there used to be shavings would get into this, some of your steel shavings, and it made it a little tough on the vise. They fixed all that and they made some serious improvements. So I hadn't used the old one. I can only comment on what I see here. Now, they have these arms on here with ball joints, and this is what's going to determine your angle when you put this on here. And this adjusts from 1 degree adjustments along this rail from 13 to 35 inches, 13 to 35 degrees. Now, there is a micro adjustment too. It doesn't spell it out very well in the manual. Matter of fact, I couldn't find it at all. But from what I can tell, is the Allen wrench will fit into here. You can loosen that up a little bit, tighten the nut back down, and you may have a micro adjustment up to, like, I believe, a half a degree. Haven't played with that because I want to get familiar with the system first. Now, once your arms go on there, we have to mount the knife. They have a way to record your settings on this, so when you go back to touch up your knife, you can just set it up the way it was before, and that way you'll keep the right angle, and that way you don't have to go through these steps. So in the manual here, there is a place in the back where you can log these. You put down your knife, you put down what letter on here it was on distance-wise to the tip, and what degrees. So let's step through, and then we're going to play how to find that out right now. So first off, you want to take your little key here and place it inside this ruler that's got A through F. Now on the side here, there is 2 rows of pinholes. Depending on the size of your knife will decide where you put this. So this is a fairly large knife. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this in the bottom set of pins down here. Now what we want to do is kind of center this knife in the vise when it lays flat on those pins. So once you get it, you can lock it into place. Now take note where you are on this ruler. So I would be, for this one, C and about 1/4. So I can log that in the book, or wait to see if this is my final adjustment. Now we're going to determine the angle that we want on this knife. Take your marker. This is where the marker comes involved. And there's a bevel along your edge down here, and you want to marker that edge up with the bevel. And just get the bevel. Believe it or not, this is actually really easy. I thought I was going to have it all the way up down the side. Piece of cake. Now what you want to do is take one of your finer grits. Let's do 600. And we're going to put it on one of these arms. Let's go with this one. And now we are going to just basically gently roll down this edge. And when it takes the marker off evenly all the way across, top and bottom, then you'll find your angle. The manual has in here, let's say if you're just taking off the top edge, it'll tell you what adjustment to make in here to make it better. If it's getting just the front of the knife and not the back of the knife, it'll tell you which way to move it. So you can dial it right in. The more you do this, the quicker it'll get. But once you hone in on your angle and your values, then you're going to be able to really go to work. So on these arms, there's a screw that fits into a little detent for every degree. So you can lock that into place and kind of check that out. Looks like I'm hitting on the top edge a little bit. Now if you're going to regrind your face, you can pick what angle you want. There's also a knife database in here. So on their website, knife databases, people have used other knives or similar knives, will put down basically their settings so you could quickly match it up. Let me see on here, how quickly is this? Alright. Looks like I would have to, actually looks pretty good. Front to back, yep, looks pretty good. Actually, I don't need to make an adjustment on that. I found my settings. So then I have to set this to the other side. Now that I have both sides set, I have my angle figured out. Now comes the fun part. And I truly mean fun. When I've been playing with this the first couple times, kind of got in a zone. It was almost therapeutic. When I saw it on video, it looked fun, and it truly is. Now, I put on the first 100 to 200 grit, and you simply just want to run that grit, that stone, along the bevel. And you'll start off with the coarse ground. You're going to want to do that for quite a while, especially on the first time using it. But there is steps in here of how to develop a burr and recognize the burr. So that's basically what you're doing, is you're working on one side of the knife, which is going to roll it over. And then you're going to want to do it from the other side and roll it over the other way. And then go back to every side. This is going to give you your sharpest edge. So there's really no set in stone number of times to do it on a side. What you don't want to do with this is push hard on this knife, okay? Unless you really want to grind some off, but let the stone do the work. Now, once you get that established and you're happy with the results, now you're going to take your 100 grit, flip it over to the orange side and do the 200 grit. Now you can go through and do the same thing. Again, develop your burr, probably with the first 100 and 200 grit, and then develop the burr on the other side, and then go back to alternating. But I'm telling you, this can be really fun and satisfying. Now you can move on. And I'm speeding this up. I'd spend a little more time on it if I was you. But then you move on to the 400 and 600 grit. This time with the 400 and 600 grit, I don't think you need to develop your burr anymore. You just need to continue the progression of stones. I really enjoy doing this, and when you go through all your progressions and then you get to your 1000 grit stone, you end up with a really sharp knife. And like I said before, I'm not good at using knives. I started off with whetstones in the past, destroyed knives. Matter of fact, I had a knife in my tool chest that I screwed up as a kid, but I always liked that knife. It was a junk knife, but I've kept it. It's just been one of my childhood knives. Sharpened it on this the other day. You can see all the ugly scratches from the last couple times I did it beyond the bevel that I established with this. And now it's a really nice and sharp knife. It's kind of ugly because of what I did to it in the past, but I brought it to a useful knife finally. It's never been useful until now. So when you're done with the knife, record your settings, take it out of the clamp, and you're ready to do another one. The nice thing about this is it has a box, a carrying box, and you can take it. Let's say you're going hunting, you're up on the, you want your skinning knife to be sharp right before hunting season. You can take this with you, get up to deer camp with the fellas, set it up, sharpen your knives. Now, with that said, The only knock I really have on this is the carrying box. I love the foam inserts and everything, but this case is just, I don't like the handles on it, and I guarantee you this will break if you're not careful. Also the clamps, or the latches, they're okay. I would just like to see a nicer box with this. Other than that, absolutely love the system. It's fantastic, and if you're into knives, you really love knives, you love sharp knives, and you know, you're just someone who's going to stay up on this, I would definitely go take a look at the Wicked Edge website and see which system fits for you. I know that I'm going to have this, I'm doing a garage remodel this summer. This one's going to stay outside, be there at the workbench, and I can go ahead and sharpen knives when I need them outside. So go take a look at Wicked Edge. If it's up your alley, reach out to them and find out some more information, or just research it there. And good luck. Till next time, I'm John from Tools in Action. Talk to you later.
Remember, for more exciting tool action, go to toolsinaction.com.